That's when I discovered that they don't actually make you see in the dark. It's just all a lie. I can't believe it.
Where's Jay, lad?
I don't know, is he still in the bathroom?
I think he's in there every week, and he for ages. Wonder what he gets up to in there.
You've got this. You have got this. Not in there. You have got this.
Well, I'm just going to get some water before we start. Do you want anything?
No, I've got my drink. Mate,
Alright, mate.
I'll get in the zone.
Alright.
That's it. Fucking Sagittarius Jack Rhodes. Epiphany so fuck off. Back to the come on! Hats! 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 Fucking get that off! Come on! Ah! What are you up to here, lad?
Why are you soaking in your tops inside out?
Is this how you get ready for the podcast?
Yeah.
Bit over the top, innit? Welcome back to the Minerva podcast, and it's episode 9 plus 10, which is what, Jack?
21. I thought I'd have a little sip of coffee because we haven't got any bevy to crack.
Yeah, we'll cheers anyway. In these fancy mugs.
Brought to you by Liverpool Podcast Studios.
Cheers.
Liverpool coffee shop soon.
I know. I think the reason why we're on the coffees is, one thing is, Jack, you're going to go teetotal this year, aren't you?
I am teetotal.
Planning to go teetotal. Like.
No, you have little faith.
No, I have all the faith in you, but I just think you're a better man than me. Put it that way.
There's no, I'm not a better man. I'm not a better man, Jay.
I'm just a better man.
No, I'm not. There's no better men than anyone, mate. It's just you. I know I can go without a drink. You love a drink. I love a drink as well, but that's part of the reason why.
The Scottish in me, innit?
Yeah, it's the Mac in you.
That's why I'm on the haggis and the fucking bucky every night.
There's quite a bit I want to do this year, podcast included, podcast related. So, and Jacob doesn't drink. He's inspired me to seeing his success. I thought, if I didn't drink for a year.
I do drink only red wine.
Yeah, only red wine.
It's a good thing to drink though, red wine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good for the heart. It's decent.
Yeah.
Christmas, man. Red wine out.
Yeah.
Well, we got some natural wine in the other day, and it was like £20 a bottle.
I've seen that.
Orange wine.
Yeah.
It was lovely. And then we got a white wine as well, but it's so nice, just so much, so crisp, just the taste of it and everything, like just so much better, I thought.
Do you know what though, like for the in terms of drinking, just touching on that, I wasn't really drinking that much anyway, so go back to last March. So the start of last year, I'd been away on that 3-week gap year, obviously drank a fair bit there, came back, seen everyone, had a few drinks, but then lockdown hit, got bored of drinking after a week, like, I didn't drink for like 2 months anyway, didn't touch one drink for 2 months. So I was thinking, at that point, I was like, I can actually go a weekend without drinking, because usually it's just not even getting pissed. It's just like, you go to the pub, have a pint, or have a bevy with my dad on the weekend, like after work or whatever. And then I've just thought this year, I said that when we were eating out to help out, whenever that was that like September, October?
Or August, I think, was it?
Oh, was it?
It might have been August.
Well, around that time, I was like, this time next year, I was like, when January comes, I'm going to give up alcohol for a bit. And then it was like, I'm going to give it up for the year till me 26th. And I know I don't look a day over 18.
You said to me the other day, I'm 26 this year, like I've only just turned 25, and I was like,
whoa,
that's weird, that. Because I'm 26 next year, luckily enough, so it doesn't sound as west.
Yeah, three weeks after me. But
it doesn't.
Into the next
I'm next year, though, aren't I? You're this year, aren't you? Yeah.
But no, but the only challenge I can foresee is I love being sober because the clarity of thought you have and everything. But my little brother, Ted, he's 18 in April, and we were meant to go and see the Cheap Thrills. Big up the Cheap Thrills. We were meant to go and see them in April, but obviously it all kicked off then. And that was his 17th birthday present, and like a night out and stuff. He was going to get him other stuff. And then a year has come, and we're still in looking likely to still be in lockdown for his 18th. So I will definitely have a pint there. And as Jacob said, it's not about not drinking. It's
Yeah,
about
of course.
I can choose as and when I drink. I might go to Ireland at some point as well. So like, I'll probably have a Guinness in Ireland. You know what I mean? But other than that, I don't know. What's your outlook on stopping drinking? Could you do it for a year if you wanted to?
No.
But you don't want to, do you?
No, I don't really want to.
But I want to.
I think,
so.
yeah, it's quite... I think for me, a lot of the time, I think for a lot of people, drinking is quite social. Especially when it was open. Like, for example, if I was walking through town and I seen me mate who I haven't seen in ages, I'll go, let's go for a bevy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go, let's go for a Greg Pat, to get fucking sausage roll and stand outside Greg's, do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, but I can still go for a bevy.
No, of course, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it is quite a social thing with me anyway.
Definitely.
To go for a drink, but now... It's just pure pleasure.
Yeah. Well, me mate Cam, who like we've been saying since the start, you know, he lives in Dublin. Remember we were saying we're going to get him on?
Yeah.
Whenever he can come over. I was speaking to him about it because we have like monthly catch-up calls because he's a coach as well. And he said he'd done it like 2018 and he was like, at that point, they didn't even have Beck's Blue in Ireland. Like 0% was not a thing because in Ireland, like it's a big thing
for
to
a
drink.
non-alcoholic bevy in Ireland.
In Ireland,
it's blasphemy.
Yeah, exactly. This is what he said. And he was like, so I said, we were at this party and he said, right, from this date I'm stopping. And his own brother, he said like a month later, he had like a Noel Gallagher gig coming up and his own brother bought 2 pints and turned around. And his brother knew that like he was giving up alcohol. He only done it, well, he didn't only do it. He done it for like 8 months. I think he said his target, he was training for some event, like Iron Man or something. And he said his own brother turned around with a pint and he was like, come on, you know I don't want a pint. And he was like, no, but just have a drink. We're at a gig. And he was like, boy, he said his brother got offended, like, you're not going to have a drink with me at this gig? And he was like, I've told you this for months. He was like, yeah, but I didn't think he was actually going to do it. You know what I mean? And he said that went on for months then, but then he brought out 0% over there and he said, if people see you with a bottle in your hand, they don't. If people see, Curtis said this to me years ago, if you tell someone you don't drink, instantly they go, must be something up with him. What's up with you? Do you know what I mean? Why don't you drink? It's not like, oh, good, yeah, you're probably healthy, you're probably smashing life. It's always like, weird, he doesn't drink. It's like it's a culture thing, isn't it?
Especially now, it's a lot different, isn't it? Like society at the moment is a lot different to back then, where everyone was going out and like the difference is if you go out on a night out on a Saturday and you say to somebody, oh, he doesn't drink him, you're like, it's a bit mad, but like now anyone fucking drinking, the only place you can fucking drink is in the house, innit?
I remember I'd done it for a while. I used to drive to town and like I'd say to people I'm not drinking, they'd be like, why? And I'd be like, I've got the car. They'd be like,
that's not what you were saying to me. You'd be like 5 and drive driving on widget everywhere.
I have never drunk drive.
He hasn't.
He's a practical joker. I haven't. Can't abide by it. But
no, I don't agree with it personally myself.
I would say to people, oh, I'm driving, and they go, oh, sound, you've got a reason, or you got, I'm on antibiotics. Fine. Why aren't you drinking? I just don't fancy being hungover tomorrow. They go, fucking weirdo.
Have a bevy, lads, here.
You want to get up tomorrow early and carpe diem seize the day? You must be weird, and it's crazy. So I'm probably, well, out of whether it's a choice or not,
just cutting down more than anything.
Cutting down, I'll be avoiding those situations as much as I can, because one of my other goals is getting the best shape of my life this year. So going out till 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning, if we could do that, wouldn't be to that extent either.
When do you reckon we will be able to do that?
Don't know. Don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to a nice social gathering, but do you need alcohol to have a good time? I know I personally don't. I know you don't. You just love a can of Red Stripe.
I love the taste of bevy though, some of it.
No, same. I had a chippy the other night and I thought, I would love a Tiger beer with this Chinese.
But like I used to, like it's quite a, we're like British culture, like we're the only people, like culture, I reckon us and the Americans do like proper binge drink, do you know what I mean?
No, I don't think the Americans do, you know. I think
they do. Shotguns and beer me up and that, do you know what I mean? They do.
Do they, yeah?
Probably not
beer pong
not to a degree as us, but like...
Oh, but when you look at the continents, it's like a few glasses of classy wine and they drink for hours and don't get pissed, whereas we go to boozed up Brits abroad. Americans do that.
I used to, when I used to drink a lot, but now it's like, I might only just buy like a 4-pack and have 2 or 3. Like last night, what did I have last night?
A nice drink, yeah.
Last night I bought 6 stubbies of Heineken and there's 2 left still.
Yeah.
And I had that with me mate. So
whereas back in the day, I used to get up at 6:30, brush your teeth with a can of Carlin. Not on a Monday, but like Sunday morning, hungover. Like we'd wake up in yours and be like, fancy a can? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like not 6:30, we'd still be up then. But there'd be some days we'd have a party till X and whatever time, 3-4 o'clock. Yeah. We'd wake up at midday, have our brekkie, and then be like,
let's get back.
There's a few ales in the fridge there. Yeah, I know what you mean. And I'm looking forward to those days again. I will definitely have those mad ones again, but life's about balance, isn't it?
It is about balance. And it's about I think more than anything now, it's like at this moment in time, probably the best I've ever been at financially, because I'm not drinking as much.
And you can't
not going
do
out
anything.
as much.
Yeah.
I'm staying in ours and I'm thinking more about what I'm consuming in my body and stuff like that, which is better in a way. I think recently I haven't been, because it's just been after Christmas and it was my birthday and everything like that, so it's been a bit of a downhill. But especially coming into now, I think it's a good time to be more conscious about what you put in the body, and it's Veganuary as well, isn't it?
It is Veganuary, yeah, it is. Thank you for that delicious wrap you've just brought before the recording, by the way.
Me falafel wraps,
Yeah.
you know, but I've done quite a few in my time, like.
You are fantastic at the food, like, your culinary skills are exquisite. I love it.
I prefer the falafel balls. Have you ever tried those?
Oh, like from Go Falafel, you mean? Where they're like deep fried. I always get a Go
it's so
Falafel
much
wrap.
better.
I went to Go Falafel the other week. Harry was in there with Louise, and I walked past. He was in there. I knew he was there. Like, I didn't just like. I'd said see you later, and then I was like, I'll just go there. And then he was in there. Him and Louise had a wrap, and he had more falafels. And then he stood up and turned around. What are you doing? He went, just get more falafels. And then he had more falafel, and he was like, do you want one? I was like,
They are the best falafels, I
like
reckon, you
deep
have from
fried,
town, like.
hot, straight out. Like people who have like falafels from the fridge in Lidl and say they don't like falafel, I'm like, I can understand that, dry and like, but if you've ever had a freshly made falafel from the likes of Go Falafel, whoo-hoo, sweet niblets. Holy smokes, mate, they are. Honestly, you need to get it fried in yours.
I know, we have
That's
to be
Grand
fair.
Chris made in yours once, where like, what are they called? Them balls he'd made.
Were they koftas?
Koftas, he made koftas.
Aubergine koftas.
Aubergine
weren't they?
koftas from scratch, and I was just like,
Oh, they were
I
heavy
thought
then.
I could cook, mate.
And what, didn't we get a chippy?
Yeah, we come in with a chippy and he'd made these koftas and we were like, oh.
They were all sat down like, this is probably the best food you'd ever made.
And we were in the garden like, oh yeah, these chips are amazing. Yeah. Scallop.
I don't know what you mean.
He's a classy guy, Chris, isn't he?
Oh, he is a
is.
classy guy, yeah. But to be fair, you're like that. Like we can sit there like that with these J Max socks on. Can you get a close
Not
up of them?
today.
No, but usually.
Not
but
today for me though.
You sit in your chair like this.
That's comfy. That
With
though.
a nice glass of red wine. No, I sit cross-legged as well, and like
Finger out.
and you're quite classy. So I can-
Classy and fucking trashy as well.
No, you got a bit of class about you. Like
Nah.
you can take the boy out of bootle, mate. But
Yeah, you have to be in my room, Jack. It's not classy in there.
nah, you are a classy guy. You are.
You know what? My apartment's made with rich mahogany.
I have many leather band books. What was I going to say?
Now, there's a few things I've wanted to bring up this week, though. I think we haven't even discussed about what was the idea of this episode. Just the first one to get back in the swing of things. We thought
Yeah.
we haven't even come up with a plan, to be honest with you. We don't usually have a bit much of a plan, but we have
just
a sort of
points we like to touch
points
on.
we like to talk. What I'd like to discuss is something that happened to my girlfriend this week. She bought a new iPhone. And I've got nothing against Apple, but I've had a lot of abuse for having a Samsung phone.
I said, just on that note, so I had a client message me last night saying, what was he talking about? It was like, oh, he sent me his email and then he sent me a message and then sent me his email separate and then said, I've sent you that as a separate message just so you don't have to copy the paste and cut it out and that. And I said, I love your initiative. I love it. And he was like, 2021 and you can't even copy a bit of text. And I said, I know, it's like YouTube. So he sent me a screen record of him on his iPhone going on, it's, YouTube, the way you can't come out and play it, continue to play unless you buy premium. And I said to him, it's all money. So then he sent me a video of him screen recording his phone and I said, I love that. I've got a Samsung, haven't I? And he put, what did he say?
I can screen record on mine, though, you know.
No, I said you can't come out of YouTube and it keeps playing.
Oh, yeah.
So he sent me a screen record of how to do it. Go onto YouTube, come out, swipe up on your iPhone. But it was an iPhone screen. And so he'd showed me how you can like hack the system basically. Let me just find this
I've got
message.
another hack for you that I've used. If you go on YouTube Premium but use a VPN to change your location to India, it translates the monthly payments to rupees or whatever it is, and it works out like £1.30 a month.
Wow.
As opposed to like a tenner a month.
And that's legal?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I assume so.
Yeah. For anyone listening, it's legal.
Let me just ring my attorney and see what he says.
So he said, I know how it is, 2021, and you can't even select an individual text on a message. I said, it's like YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So he sent me loads of screen records, and I said, I've got a Samsung, haven't I? I will be getting an iPhone soon, though, so thank you very much. And he put, heavy. At least better times are on the horizon, brother. And it's mad the hate you get. Samsungs are so much better. It's just when someone on an iPhone looks at your social media, they think, what have you filmed that on? Like Snapchat, Instagram, the text. I look at what I put on my story.
Yeah,
on
but
like,
yours not even a Samsung, is it?
yeah, man, it's a Samsung, yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Samsung A30 or
Oh, was the
A70.
A1? It's the budget range, the A, though, isn't it?
No, but lad, even it is the budget, but it's still quality for
No,
performance.
I'm just saying the A might be less of a quality than, say, my phone.
Yeah, it is less quality than yours, but when you post something on the podcast story and I view the podcast story off my own, I'm like, the quality on that's shocking.
Is it? Yeah,
it looks the emojis and that, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but who gives I don't care about emojis.
No, but that's why people hate Samsungs, because they see like this
They've
changed text.
They have changed though. I used to have a Sony Xperia, and that was terrible. Like having a potato, honest to God.
Remember you had that Sony Xperia?
I know. We're in a bad phone, man. I just send emojis on like Snapchat now, and people are like, "You're mad that," you know. But going back to me.
Oh yeah. So anyway,
she's bought the phone anyway.
Yeah. She is the cat's mother, Jay.
Christina bought the phone, and anyway, it's turned up. It is. She's opened the box, and it did not come with any headphones, which I'd imagine anyway. It wouldn't. But it didn't even come with a plug.
It's mad, isn't it?
You can't even charge your phone. At least mine come with a working plug and headphones, which I don't use.
She's already got a charger though.
But imagine if you had a Samsung and you bought an iPhone, you made the switch and you buy the new phone and they don't even fucking send you the charger. Like, that's scum now.
I get it, but I also get the other side. Because from Apple's point of view, most people who are buying the new phone,
They're already bought into the ecosystem,
They're already bought into the ecosystem, so it's
yeah.
just a waste.
They've got a Mac, they've got a laptop, they've got a Mac, they've probably got an iPad or something. Yeah. By the way, Artilia's got a Mac and I've been using it quite a fair bit. And like the charger's the same as Samsung's. If I charge my phone on my charger, it takes ages. If I put it on a charger, like 45 minutes on the laptop charger, the Samsung is fully charged. It's rapid charging.
Well, you can charge a Mac with.
You can charge a Samsung. It's USB-C. It's the same. It's the same as a Mac. Yeah. So there's no USB ports on a Mac. You need a C to plug. This is not a tech podcast anyway.
I just had a few things I wanted to get off my chest.
Go on and hit option number B. So can we go on to what else you've got on your mind, Jay? What's troubling you?
What's troubling me?
Yeah. What else? It's all coming out now, isn't it? We both had COVID, first of all. Well, I haven't had COVID, but I've been on lockdown with my parents who had it. You had it, didn't you? You tested positive?
Yeah, for my birthday. Saturday. You know, it was bossed up, to be honest with you. Like, usually your birthday you want to celebrate, and it's like you're like, oh, let's all go. Usually I can't get fucking anybody out in January for my birthday anyway. Yeah. If he's like anybody coming out, I end up
especially
going
after the big New Year's.
Yeah,
and
after the big New Year's and Wahos, and then I'm like, I don't want to see your face for a good month or two. So usually I can't really get anything on the go. But this year, because I had COVID, I was in ours by myself, and I literally just sat there by myself all day and done nothing. And it was
with your mask on.
With my mask on, yeah.
That video, that was funny. That did you see that, Jacob? The Kim Jong-un mask.
No.
Haven't you seen it? Can you get Instagram up on there?
No.
Oh, mate, right, go on the podcast Instagram.
Could we we'll get it? Could we like show the video on the podcast?
Can you
on the screen?
Yeah.
No, like, can you put it on into the podcast itself? Do you know, so you can play the sound and that? Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought I'd do this video. I don't usually do videos like this either. But just a little bit of awareness for you all. Just because as of Friday the 8th, I tested positive for the COVID-19, the virus going around. And you know what, it's been alright. It hasn't been that bad. But the biggest bit of advice I've got for anybody is just so you're not stuck in your room isolating, just to make sure you wear your masks. They sell them everywhere. They sell them Tesco's, they're very easy to get. I'm sure if you can go into some shops when they're open, they even give you masks. Very simple, very easy to do. They sell them everywhere. The only thing you've got to do is just put it on your face, just like that, and there's absolutely no chance of getting any virus whatsoever.
So with your mask on,
yeah, that's what happens when you leave me in my room for a few days. End up losing the plug.
Go stay crazy, don't you? Honestly, like 10, 11 days I done. I think it was, I don't know, 12 days, I think maybe, and like I was walking around the garden. I'd done 50 laps of the garden at one point, and I was like, just like, I'd done 10 that way, 10 that way, 10 that way, and I was just like, this was because I couldn't go out the house. And I said to Mum, can I not even just go around the block? And you can't, it's illegal. I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah.
But I was like, you don't see anyone around by ours. And she's like, no, because if you do, you get a fine and all that. And then the day I found out, they keep texting you when you can go out. And I didn't even test positive. Like, everyone was all right, thank God. They were a little bit fluey and stuff like that.
I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't have any, you know, the only thing I had was like, I wouldn't even describe it as a headache, but every now and then I go like that, and like
A bit of tension.
Bit of tension, and then every now and then I'd have a bit of phlegm in the morning. But apart from that, I was literally sound, which is a blessing, really.
Yeah.
At the same time, but
That's what I mean. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, everyone was like on death's door and that, because I know of stories of people who have been that way.
Yeah.
But it was just, from our perspective, it was a bit worrying because it's like COVID, and more so my mum and my dad were like, oh, this is in the house, we want to protect your kids, all that. I couldn't imagine what it's like to be a parent thinking about all that. But it was more, we were getting on each other's wick, do you know what I mean? The first time was fun, first lockdown in March, we were all together, we were all like going for walks and all that, and then this time, 15 days all together,
and it's like you, your ma, and obviously your brother and sister,
wits
father
end,
is.
yeah.
I was in my house, I'm by myself all week.
I would have preferred that, you know.
It was literally sick.
Yeah.
I was literally could do
walking around with nothing on all day.
I was in my birthday suit. For days.
It's my birthday. I'll wear my birthday suit.
Yeah, like it was nice. I tried to because obviously I thought I'll order a bit of food.
Tell me what you ordered.
No, that was separate. I thought I meant like food to cook. Oh, do you know what I mean?
Like Morrison's
I
deliveries.
I've done Aldi. I've done off order. It was like 28 quid.
On Deliveroo?
Yeah, and it just declined like that. So when I done a co-op one, they wouldn't accept that either. And I thought, what do they expect people to do if they can't? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you could win on the Iceland website or something like that. But luckily enough, I had enough food to get by. Like,
yeah.
I went starved. So funny. Like,
yeah. Tell them why you weren't starved. What did you order from that KO grill?
Oh yeah, that was on my birthday. That 35 quid it was.
For himself.
Got a curry, which was curry, wrap,
chips,
soup, chips. And then they come and I forgot to order rice.
Did you?
So I had to cook rice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And your wrap, you got a wrap.
Oh yeah, me falafel.
£35 to yourself, man. Happy birthday from me to me.
Also, another announcement to make. Zoom in. I don't reckon I hate. I don't reckon I hate hip hop anymore.
I know you've never, Jay. Come on, you've never hated hip hop. It was a joke. It was all a joke. No, you wasn't anti hip hop.
I put a more conscious effort into listening to.
I was flicking through Insta and I seen Diggable Planets and I was like, it read. I didn't see who it was. It was like, yeah, you did see it. that laugh was dirty.
It was proper croaky. The COVID coming out then.
I love it. It was proper mischievous. No, it was like, yeah, that's right. You have seen this, and I was like, what's that about? Oh, Jamie McDougall 96. I was like, I prefer hip hop on a story.
I like it when it's like not all swear words and just all nice rhymes.
Because yeah, exactly. Hip hop is more than what's even out now. It's so.
Q-tip.
Hip hop is a culture.
Q-tip is me boy.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. I had what's it called? Low End Theory on yesterday.
You like him? D'Angelo as well. You know D'Angelo?
No.
Want some of your
Who's he play for?
Sugar?
Who's he play for?
I don't know, but that's gonna sound terrible. Who's he play for?
Good job. You didn't have the headphones on then.
I know. Let's get the tune on.
Like a drowned cat.
Like a drowned cat.
Yeah. So I'm. You know what? I'm digging me hip hop at the minute.
Isn't it a drowned rat? And a
strangled cat.
A strangled cat.
I mix them together.
Synergy.
That's what we're doing this year. Synergy, putting stuff together.
When I was on the radio.
Like, we on the radio. What was he saying?
Top of the moon.
Top of the moon. I went, that didn't sound right. That.
I knew when he said top of the moon. I was like, he's going to get pulled up on that.
And then somebody did, didn't he? To be fair.
He said, oh, well, I'll start saying it. Basically, so I was on the radio last night.
Oh,
yeah.
As I said, Jack Roge, you may just see me from various stuff like the Minerva podcast and Radio Merseyside.
Yeah, this is. I feel like making love.
I like stuff like I like
it's D'Angelo or D'Angelo, whatever.
Because I think a lot of the time it's quite like jazz influenced the music as well, isn't it?
Like very jazz hop, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I like. That's what I have liked the whole time.
Yeah, you just didn't know it because you thought it was.
No, I didn't know it. Just like it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like I like Greek food.
The mind is like a parachute, Jay. It works best when it's open. Same with music. So if you go into it but on that note, can't get into screamo. I used to work with a lad who listened to like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Oh no!
I've tried to listen to all that. And, like,
I haven't.
But
I didn't try.
Someone I used to. No, I did, because this lad said, oh, it's quite cathartic. He said, coming home from work and just putting that on, it gets all my frustration out. I was like, feel like meditation just has the same effect, you know what I mean?
What?
But to each their own. But I can't. For me, music has to be like, ooh. But I suppose there's a market
I remember
for that.
you said on one of the episodes we done that I only listened to one genre of music, and then I got my Spotify unplugged back, and it said the genres of music I'd listened to was like 406.
Who you on?
Yeah, I got 406 back. Like I just sent you back just like One genre JB here then.
And not one of them was hip hop. But anyway, back to the radio. So when I was on the radio last night, he said, "Yeah, you know, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling on top of the moon." I was like, that isn't a thing. It's over the moon or on top of the world.
Yeah, but
then,
you know, the analogy that you come up with on the radio was great about your feelings, like
the mind being a bus.
man being a bus, and you come on and
Yeah,
get off. Some are on for longer than others.
yeah.
And it was a great analogy.
It's
Where did you rob that from? Listen.
the mind. Yeah, it is. So for anyone who wasn't listening to the radio last night, go back. It's on BBC Sounds app for 29 days. No, for anyone who wasn't listening to the radio, so BBC Radio Mirza had approached me through the Epiphany Coach and said, "We'd love to have you on. Upload some content here. We'll talk about it." So I had an interview. And during our interview, I mentioned how he asked, "What advice would you give for anyone who's struggling at the moment?" And I mentioned how, like I say to all my clients, and I've been saying it a lot recently, your mind is essentially a bus. You are the driver of that bus. And now any thought you have that gets on that bus throughout the day is just like a passenger. So some of those passengers, some of your thoughts, they will be, you won't even notice them. They'll sit at the back quiet. Other thoughts, they might get on, make a bit of noise. You might be aware of them, but you can manage with them. And then some passengers that get on the bus, as you've probably known yourself getting on the bus, and your thoughts, they make a lot of noise. They might even be abusive towards you and be very, very distracting. You feel like you can't focus. And though it's up to you as the driver of the bus to either focus your energy on them, your attention, or you can't control your thoughts. You can choose which thoughts you focus your energy on. And it's all about not controlling your thoughts, but not letting them control you. It's similar to being on the bus with the passengers. You can either focus on the passengers and the disruptive thoughts, or focus on the road where you're going and getting to your goal and the end point. And that's the choice we all have as the mate, because that is the thought. That is the choice we all have, because you are the thinker, not the thoughts. You are in control of the bus. And that everyone I've ever mentioned that to is like, oh yeah, that's like their epiphany moment. Like, oh my God, I am the thinker, not the thoughts.
COVID safe, by the way.
Yeah, it's all cashless, Jay. Yeah.
No, it was a good analogy, and it made me think actually when I heard it, like about that you have in the day, like you do have some thoughts, and to go away. Sometimes you might just try and blank them out, mightn't you? Sometimes you might try and think of some other stuff.
Another good, well, even when you come to look at language, another good turn of phrase, train of thought. Like the reason I love that phrase, and like that, the reason that phrase has probably been come about is because you can be watching the telly, have a thought, and your mind is a million thoughts away. Because the train of thought, if you want to get on that train and see where you end up, you just think and think and think. Or you can choose to get off the train at any point you want through mindfulness, through any sort of practice. Just being aware of your thoughts is the first step into changing any sort of thought or behavioural situation. Just becoming aware of your thoughts.
I know, you can get lost in your mind, though, that's the thing, innit?
Yeah.
You can literally just get lost.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because creativity is overthinking.
Oh, I do though. I get lost in my own. I do all the time, because I don't overthink it. I don't overthink everything, but like everyone does overthink. But like sometimes I look too much into stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like,
but that's a skill.
I know that's a skill, and sometimes it's to my advantage. You might think of something, and go and see it from a whole perspective. That's why when you speak to people and you could watch, like if you watch a film, and you have one perspective.
And you're like, do you know why I think they've done that? It's because of this, and you're like, oh yeah, you've thought of that. Because everyone's mind is different. And in terms of how the mind works, like I've got a client who's very creative, but suffers with anxiety as well, and wanted to understand the anxiety. And I said to him, like, the skill you have, he's come to realise, and through our time together, that the skill he has of being creative and creating content and things like that, he needs the skill of overthinking to analyse on a different level. But he's at a point now where he's balanced that out, and he knows when to switch off, and he's got tools, techniques and processes in place to not overthink about, oh my God, what if this happens, the worst case scenario, which we're all guilty of. But that's a human, anxiety and overthinking is a human characteristic. It's just designed to keep you alive and thinking of every possible outcome. But it's learning to A, not get carried away on the train of thought, and B, it's all about A, not getting carried away on that train of thought, and B, having tools in place that when something pops up, you can just kind of shift your awareness away from that thought. Because you can't switch off your thoughts. It's just about
when you sleep.
Well, you're still dreaming, aren't you?
Oh, I had two.
I had a mad dream.
No, I had two mad dreams recently.
Go on.
So I had a dream that I was at a party with my girlfriend. And I was at the party,
It must be a dream you'd never had.
No. And it was like, it feels so real. And like, it was like at the party and like dancing with other lads and that. And I was stood there like proper fuming, Joe, in the
Christina
corner.
was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, the next day, I was like, you were not better than my dream last night. And then I had one the night after, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I was in work. And they were like, somebody's got to leave the team today, and it's all up to you, vote it. And everyone in work's like, Jay, get him out. And I'm like, you were sound with me last week. And then they all got rid of me. And I got up the next day and was like, I was in work.
Check your emails.
I got up in the morning. I was like, thank fuck I'm in work here. So I was thinking in the dream, like, what am I going to do for money and that?
Yeah.
And then,
Isn't that crazy? Or like,
yeah, it is.
I had a dream that, so I've been doing a lot of work recently for the Epiphany Coach, and been spending a lot of time on the laptop, and I had a dream that I got sucked into the screen. And it was proper Alice in Wonderland gear. There was a clock there. It was all about time and stuff, and I've been doing loads of work. And in the dream, it wasn't a bad dream. It was fun, but it was very Alice in Wonderlandy. Like, that was the theme that was coming through. This is insane stuff. This in the dream, there was a grandfather clock dancing, and his hand was on 3:15, and the battery, I could see the battery in the corner of the laptop, and it was on 33%, right? And I was like, whoa, it was all crazy. It was all flowing, loads of colours and that. And then I've woke up and my alarm went off. And I was like, whoa. And I always charge my phone overnight, but I never this night. And then when I've got out of bed, went to turn my phone off, my phone was on 33%. How mad is that? Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, it is.
So the number 3 was just coming through to me loads. And then, what was I going to say after that? Oh yeah, and then when I went outside into the garden, our clock had froze because it was been freezing in the garden, and that was stuck on 3:15. My mum was like, the clock's broken. I had to look at it and I was like, wow, how mad. So all that was coming through.
You might have already seen that clock though, and in your dream is referred to that.
Yeah, that's what
Do you
my
know
mum
what I mean?
said.
And then it makes
That's
it
what my
even
mum
mad.
said. But then the battery in the corner was on 33%, and when I woke up, so was my phone. Like, that's at 6 o'clock in the morning when I went to bed 8 hours before. That's a bit mad, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah, it is.
It's to date, I've had mad dreams, but to date, that is the maddest dream I've ever had.
I'll tell you mine very soon, because it's going to come up soon.
What I was going to say. Dreams are crazy though, man. Dreams are crazy.
They are literally, I think, you don't use the part of your brain in your dream. Only when you sleep, you don't use it. I don't
nobody knows what dreams are for. There's theories, like people have theories put across, and like loads of people agree on them, but no one knows why. It's like, it could be about rest, processing information, things like that. But I was speaking to Phil recently, the Mind PT, and we had him on episode 3. Go back and watch. And he was talking about in ancient Egypt, the ancient Egyptians believed that your soul, which I think they call your bar, each night, he said, that leaves your body. That's what they believed, that left your body and entered another realm and then came back to the physical body. This is what the Egyptians believed in the morning when you woke up, and if you died in your sleep, your soul just never came back. That's what they believed, and I never knew that till he told me. It's crazy, that, isn't it? Because people do say like it's another realm, dreaming.
It is.
Who was it who told me someone had a dream? I can't remember who it was. Someone had a dream that something happened with the dad, and then their dad woke up and rang them in the morning and said, I had this dream last night, and they both had the same dream. I think it might have been Liv. I think it might have been. I'll have a think. Crazy dreams though. I didn't think we'd get on to dreams today, but fantastic topic.
It's
Dreams can come true.
You know, you gotta have a dream.
Gavin and Stacey. Has she only got one eye? Is that the singer of that song?
She must do.
Is that what it is? And it breathes. Damn, that is golden. For anyone who knows Gavin and Stacey.
But the thing about dreams as well, you can't remember all of them as well.
Don't remember most of them, do you?
If you don't tell anybody about your dream, you won't remember it.
Yeah.
I found that quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because
I wrote this dream down when I woke up. I journal every morning.
If you don't tell people, or you don't like actually make a conscious effort to remember or write it down, half the time you can just forget about it.
Yeah. Until a trigger comes in the day and you're like, oh my God, you was in my dream last night. Well, I journal most mornings, never to do with my dreams, really. I don't keep a dream journal. But this morning I was like, something was like, write that story down, because that isn't, like, everyone I've told that, usually it's like, well, you're at that's a mad dream. Most people don't even want to hear your dreams. They're like, oh, you've had a crazy dream, have you? But when I've told them that story about seeing 33 and 3 minutes past 3 and that's like, whoa, spooky stuff.
I know you're quite into numerology as well, aren't we? We discussed it with Nat, didn't we, on episode 4? Go back and watch it.
Yeah. Numerology it's a broad topic, But I do, but there is coincidences, and well, what do you call them, coincidences, synchronicities of seeing numbers over and over is like a sign, definitely. Because why else? Have you had that where you keep seeing the same number over and over and over?
Not really, no.
No.
I haven't really. I think if you pay attention to it, you will. It's like the effect. Do you remember when Phil was talking about going back to the
yellow
episodes,
car,
the yellow car? It's a bit like that, I reckon, as well.
Yeah,
I reckon if you're more conscious of seeing it, you will see it more.
Well,
but
that's what I
on
love.
that occasion when you're saying that, you weren't really conscious of it. So it all sort of just
I was
happened,
not
do you know
looking
what I
for the
mean?
number 3.
Exactly.
And then it was in my dream, and I woke up and my phone was on 33%, and I was like, whoa. And then the clock was stuck on 3:15, and in my head that happened after I had seen the grandfather clock dancing with 3:15. So I was thinking I might have seen that yesterday. Subconsciously, you used took it in. I didn't know it was there. But so that explains that. But that doesn't explain how the battery was 33% and so was my phone. That was mad, because it wasn't on 33% when I went to sleep. No way. Even though it does hold battery a lot better than iPhones.
No.
But yeah, I'm not big into numerology, but it's interesting. It's an interesting, like, what the things Nat's got going on with 444. Not like she shares some stuff, and I'm like, that's mad. Like when she come here, she was in Bay 44 and the taxi was number 444.
Yeah.
Like, I love the science of spirituality, so like I love the mind, but I also love the other side of spirituality, like the mystical. But I like to come at it from both angles, like try and explain it, but there's a lot we will never know. But on the spiritual side of things, the idea of angel numbers and stuff like that is when you're seeing these numbers, you're on the right path and because we're all on a path. So that's the idea behind numerology. But
maybe I'm not on the right path, Jack.
You're definitely on the right path, mate.
Maybe I'm not, that's why I'm not seeing these numbers, Jack.
It's because you're drinking.
They all just merge into one, don't they?
I loved it. I've missed this, you know. I have missed this.
I have.
FaceTimes aren't the same, mate.
I know, they're not, and it's like, I think we could do podcast over Zoom and that, but I just don't feel it's just not for me. It's not the same because especially when we're together in the room as well.
Yeah,
the energy that you get, you don't get. I don't think it's difficult to get. Don't get me wrong. If you're doing your podcast over Zoom and that, like some of them are boss, but for me, the way this works, I think it's a lot better face to face, isn't it?
Yeah, especially these episodes. Like everything we do, we always agree is like for the listener to bring stuff to the viewers and all that, because we want people to get the quality out of the conversations we have, but ultimately, if we're not enjoying the podcast, 99% of people watching and listening aren't going to enjoy it. So like it's so different to doing it over Zoom.
And it's like going forward this year, we want to make a few changes to the podcast. We've said it a few times.
We're looking for a new co-host. Jay's out. Anyone? Please send your subscription. Please send your applications to the Minerva podcast at gmail.com.
And we'll be doing interviews via Zoom. No, we want to make it different, and if there's anything you like about the podcast, anything that you don't like, keep it to yourself. Listen, let us know, because we want to make it better. Do you know what I mean?
When we were in the boozer by Christmas, someone said to me, gave me a bit of feedback, and he said, "Do you know what, mate?" He was like, I was debating telling you this. He said, but I feel like it's for your own benefit. He was like, the podcast is unbelievable. He was like, and I love listening to you guys. He was like, but used to have, when you've got guests on, used to will just chat on to each other. And it's more, he said, it's more of a conversation, less of an interview. He was like, I love it. He was like, but I personally would prefer an interview when you've got guests on. I was like, I respect that, because we do just have a conversation. But obviously there's people out there who would rather it be like...
It depends on the guest, though.
It does.
It depends on the guest.
It depends on... That's just one man's opinion, but I respect that he told me. Do you know what I mean?
I think it depends on your...
Thanks, Dad. No, no, he was like, I was like, thanks. He was saying congratulations during the podcast. I was like, oh, Jason, he was like, the Epiphany coach, you smashed it. He went, bit of feedback though, and I respect that when people come up and say this is an improvement, because that some people won't tell you improvements to me. Do you know what I mean? They just go with boss. It's boss when they've got feedback, and you only get better with feedback. I love constructive criticism. Yeah, a compliment sandwich. You wanted that on Family Guy? He's like, he's like, oh, you're a great worker. The compliment, and then the insult is, you have smelly dog farts. And then he's got another compliment. It's like, you look like Snoopy and it makes me smile. Stewie Griffin. Hey Brian, you know that mug you've got that says life's a beach? Yeah, that's dangerously close to the word bitch, isn't it? Some of the other colleagues around here are getting insulted, Brian. What other colleagues, man? It's just me who works here. It's like, just get rid of the mug.
I don't know.
Jacob said the other day, it just come to me the other day when you said, yeah, because you always say just edit that out, so I never know if to edit it out or not. That's one thing we're working this year is stop saying edit that out.
Yeah, you probably noticed, but go back, edit it out and then end up staying in.
Yeah, but there's loads that we say edit out and he actually does edit out.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know whether or he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, because we're like, edit that out.
Cut that and we message go back and keep that in.
Getting hot in here, mate.
I know.
Under these lights.
I know, yeah.
New lighting. Let us know what you think on the lighting, the look of the studio.
It's like a tanning salon.
Yeah,
It is.
We're gonna the episode's gonna be quite similar. We're gonna be doing some here, some in some other places, trying to change it up, aren't we? As well with
definitely
the recording
of course.
spaces. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, of course. So obviously we're gonna have a new section introducing to the podcast.
Yeah.
We thought it'd be a good idea to introduce the Epiphany coach into the podcast.
Yeah, and it'd be a good thing to discuss with guests as well. I think this one would be discussing something, my personal experiences going into this year, obviously, because I was in isolation and everything like that. I have quite struggled with
isolation, no motivation.
That's literally what it was. I've literally struggled with motivation.
A lot of people have, mate.
And it's that time of year. What was it? Monday was Blue Monday. It was like the most depressing day of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently
18th.
so. Yeah,
18th is the first, like the second Monday in Jan, or the third Monday in Jan. I think is the most depressing day of the year. They call it.
Traditionally, it's usually like you're coming off the high of like Christmas, New Year, loads of alcohol, people are detoxing and back to work, and life seems normal. The first week of January, it's like, oh, January, New Year, New Me, and then the second week is usually like, oh January. That's what a lot of people think. That's where Blue Monday comes from. Yeah.
The second week, I'm usually way up for it. Second week of January.
It's your B-Day though, isn't it?
My B-Day, yeah. Living a lovely life. So you had
living la vida.
life. Do you know what's a Bosch quote? Matthew McConaughey says something Dazed and Confused. Life is for living. Livin.
Yeah, life is for living, mate. So live it, or you're better off dead. You're on that tune by Passenger. Life is for the living. No, Passenger, like, you only know you live it. He's got a tune called, like, he's very political.
He was a proper one-hit wonder though.
He was, but his album, unbelievable. Our Paul and Lauren, they love him. I think they've been to see him.
He's probably not a one-hit wonder, but like in the grand scheme of things, people would describe him as a one. Because I've not heard a fucking song by him since.
Yeah, but he was big, like, underground anyway. Like, he's very political, and he does like not comedy songs, but like he's very like what's the word? He's very cult. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, life is for living. Livin. So we thought we'd add a segment anyway of the coaching corner, and that was just to introduce. Not to introduce, sorry. We thought we'd introduce a section, the coaching corner, just to discuss like topics, whatever anyone would like a bit of guidance on, a bit of advice from myself, from when we've got other people on, get their opinion. And we thought we'd kick off this week with yourself.
Motivation. No, I've struggled with my motivation last few. Just obviously because in isolation, and then it's like you get it stuck in a routine, don't you? No, I was just like, I get up in the morning.
In a routine?
Yeah, it was, literally a routine. Great way to put it. And that becomes a norm. It's like, if you don't go out for weeks and weeks and months,
that's your reality
norm is to stay in. That's your reality. And my reality was to stay in the house, weren't do as much exercise as I should. I was in a bit of a routine. And what would you say about motivation? What would you say to people for a good way to get themselves back motivated if they are struggling at the moment?
Well, just touching on Matthew McConaughey there, if you've ever seen Wolf of Wall Street, we're like, that'll get you motivated. It will get you motivated. But in terms of your specific situation, that obviously everyone's dealing with that now, like trying to get motivated when you don't need to leave the house, or you can just get up at 10 to 9 and turn a laptop on. But definitely, I know myself, getting out the house, because like I'm always outdoors, but when I was isolating, I didn't take it for granted, but I realised that when I went on a walk through like fields by ours, I was like, whoa, like this is essential. Like going out, and it was freezing and crisp and I had a hat on and that, and it was like fresh air. I was like, this is essential to walk in fresh air. Like getting outside, definitely. Having a routine, getting up at the same time, going to bed at the same time helps. It's a chicken and egg situation. You know what I mean? It's a the early night.
What did come first though?
Well, let's not get into that. However, definitely getting up at the same time each day. It's 6:30, 7, whatever time it is, but stick to that time and have a morning routine. If you need help with the morning routine, I've got a guide there that I give away to all my clients. I give away for free, so just drop me a message. You don't have to stick to it religiously, but just have some routine. Get up, get a shower, make a coffee, have a read, go outside, whatever it is. Just stick to a routine that'll keep you motivated. And now, motivation and goal setting, of course, you can set long-term goals, but for a lot of people now, getting through the day is enough.
Just doing something
on it. Set your goal for the day. Do you know, today I'm gonna clean that shelf. I've been saying I'm gonna get on top of the wardrobe and clean up there. Just have a goal for the day.
As you said to me, you said I wrote down, it was like, it's gonna sound, not, you don't think you said it, but like something as little as tidying your room.
Yeah.
You have a sense of fulfillment and you feel good about yourself when you do something.
We touched on that, didn't we? The mind loves it. If you write down things on the list, text me mum, tidy my bedroom, do my washing, and you know these are things you need to do. If you write them down and then you cross them off, your brain releases dopamine, which is the reward chemical, and go, oh my God, I've done something I need to do, and you feel better. And just these little quick wins. Write down the things you know you need to do them, cross them off, and you'll feel a lot more motivated. When you write things down, you're 47% more likely to achieve them. Even if it's little things like wash my bills.
It is, to be fair.
Do you know what I mean? Little things like wash my underwear.
I need to write that down, mate.
Going commando. No, but definitely, it's hard to stay motivated, man. I get it. I'm seeing it a lot now, definitely. And it's uncertain times. A lot of people thinking, what should I be motivated for? I've got nothing to aim for, X, Y, and Z. Well, just get through the day if that's the case.
That's it. And work towards something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Pick a goal for the day, a small goal. Go for a walk, get a shower. My goal for today is to go for a walk. If you set that as a goal, go out and do it. You've achieved your goal for the day. Just, you're motivated when you've got something to aim for. No matter how big or small it might seem to you, just set yourself a goal, one small goal.
And would you say it's a good way to a daily goal, a weekly goal, monthly goal, yearly goal? Would you say to do all them, or just start off
just
daily?
If you're feeling unmotivated, set yourself a small goal. My goal for this week is do this, or my goal for today. And more so now with lockdown, it's so uncertain. You know what I mean? But goal setting is a whole topic on its own, an area of coaching on its own. But definitely, if you're feeling like we're touching on motivation, if you're feeling unmotivated and you don't feel like you've got to drive, because it's easy to just stay in your bills or just stay in bed or work from the laptop in bed, and that can have negative effect. Just set yourself a goal. I'm going to get up, just stick to a routine, get up at the same time, and set yourself a goal for the day. And that in itself, a lot of people think motivation breeds action. Like, they just think, I'm going to be sat on the couch and be motivated, and here I go, something's just going to drop into you. The opposite is true. Action precedes motivation. If you get up and do something, you're like, wow, I'm motivated, and then more action comes from that, and then it just keeps feeding back in motivation, action. But you just got to make the first step. Just set a small goal, and it'll change your day and your week.
That's what I done. I was like, just need to get out the house more. To get tired in my room. I think I've done a mix, which I weren't happy with.
Yeah, I done it myself though. I've had on my list.
But you know what I mean? But there was like, for me, I think if you have that sense of fulfillment that you've actually done something, that's what it was. I was unmotivated because I went doing anything. I was in a rut. We hadn't done this for a while. I was in the house by myself, and it can be difficult, can it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm 100%, and nobody thinks any less of you if you're unmotivated. Yeah. But in yourself, your sense of well-being. If you've set yourself a goal and you've achieved it, like I said, dopamine, the brain just starts kicking in, and you're like, oh my God, I've achieved this, and everything just builds upon that then.
Something that I need to think into. But next section I'd love to go on to now is topic, and it was someone I wrote down ages ago.
We wrote this down having a coffee in like August, didn't we?
I just said it like messing about, but then we were going through them before. Early on in the week, and we decided to go with this one. And you said you've got a good example of this.
Yeah.
So where's the most random place you've ever woke up?
Yeah. So I've woke up in a lot of places, a lot of different places.
Unaware.
Around the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've consciously went to bed then and woke up like, wow, this is a crazy place to wake up. One of them, I used to do this all the time, and like, I think a lot of people will relate to this. I used to fall asleep on the couch all the time and wake up in my bed because my dad would be like, oh, bless him, you know what I mean? I was 6, 7, 8, whatever. And then I remember getting...
6, 7, 18.
16, no. And I'd be young, I'd be quite small, so my dad could get me over the shoulder or pick me up, whatever, put me in bed. No, I don't want to wake him up. I remember one day, this is when I knew my life's changing from this point onwards. I remember waking up on the couch at a certain age, let's say 13, and it was like pitch black, 2 in the morning, and I thought, that's it. I'm too heavy for my dad to carry me up the stairs now. this is a memory I've got of waking up in the living room, like, because I never woke up in the living room. Whenever I'd fell asleep on the couch at 10 o'clock, my dad would before bed put me in bed and then go to bed. And I remember just waking up thinking, wow, I guess I've got to get myself up to bed now.
Not that you're too heavy, it's because you're old enough now.
Yeah, because you get up to bed, yeah, but I think, because I used to be scared of the dark when I was a kid, that's why it sticks with me, as I woke up in the dark living room and it just left me there, do you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people will resonate with that, of one day I just didn't wake up in my bed, I was in the living room. My brother used to sleepwalk, man. He used to say to him, where are you going? He'd be like, he's going out for a bit.
You shouldn't wake them up, should you?
No, we used to just let him walk around. Yeah. But go on, where's the most random place you've woke up?
I'm usually quite aware when I go to sleep, but I've never woke up and been like, whoa, how did I get here?
Yeah.
But I woke up from a dream and being like, whoa, because I went out in when I was about 17, I was out in Crosby Village. So I was 18, I was legal. And I was and I remember it so well. I was stood outside and this girl come over in a BMX with a mate, and she was one of them on the back, the two
pegs.
bars, the pegs at the back, stood on my back.
Pegs, gives a take,
and they come over and she's like, give me a jacket, and I was like, nah, and it was in my hand, and she took it and rode away, and they just went away, and I was running after them in the dream, and I went back like, oh, they've robbed me jackets, the idiots. But I was drunk at the same time.
Yeah. So
then, like, I remember in the dream going home and going into bed and then getting up in the morning, and I looked, and I used to have all my jackets on the back of my door, like on a peg, and the jacket weren't there anymore. And I got up and I was like,
where's that jacket?
Where's this jacket?
It's got lost in a portal.
So I went downstairs, and in my head at this point I was like, my jacket got robbed off these two people, these two girls on a BMX. So I went down to my mum and went, Mum, have you seen this jacket? She was like, no. I was like, this is weird, this. So then I got in, I was looking for it anyway, and then my mum went, Jamie, your jacket's here, it was in the washing machine. And I must have got it in the night out, put it in the washing machine. But for about the first 4 hours of the day, I thought my jacket got robbed by two women, or girls, or ladies,
females, on a bit my ex.
For like 4 hours, I thought that two females robbed my jacket.
Mad.
And got off with it.
And then you woke up.
And then I woke up. Yeah.
But the next segment, should we?
It's album of the week.
Album of the week.
Chosen by Mick and Kennedy. It was a great episode, the Mick and Kennedy one. It was such a good one. We were all belated, weren't we, as well?
Yeah.
We all lost our eye, weren't it? But yeah, they chose A Night at the Opera by Queen, which I probably heard it for the first time in full. This week leading up to it.
It's a piece of art, isn't it? 1975
it come out, which just feels mad. You'd feel like it'd come out a lot later, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the quality's unbelievable.
Well, it was the producer actually done the album, said there was no boundaries with the production. And the harmonies are just so mad, I thought. And the reason why I got called Night of the Opera is because when they're doing bow rap, I think they must have, because it took them that long, they needed a bit of inspiration, and they watched the Night of the Opera. I think there's a production of it, in which they must have watched on film, or they must have gone on to watch it. And they went, that was even a good name for the album. Because at the start of the album's quite rocky, innit?
Well, it's a rock opera, innit? Yeah.
And yeah, then towards the end. But then there was, what tune is it? I can't remember what it was called, but for me it was proper. It sounded like, I remember Paul McCartney went through a phase with like Joe Sgt. Peppers, where he did like When I'm 64 and that. And John Lennon would give him the shit going, it's like granny rock. And one of the tunes, I can't remember what it was called. And it's proper Paul McCartney granny rock, I thought. I heard it and thought, this is proper Paul Mac.
When you're talking about harmonies there though, in the film Bohemian Rhapsody, what a film, by the way. It shows you how they recorded bow rap and like the layer and the harmony, and like, because don't forget then, like, it wasn't like digital recording, do you know what I mean? It was all kind of like takes and retakes and layering, like
multi-layered. I think like
multi-layered. The production value on that for the time is unbelievable.
Well, when the album came out, it was the most expensive recorded album of the era.
Yeah.
I think it was about 40k, and it's like modern times it's about 400,000.
Mad. Well, when you think of like bow rap, that the length of that song, it shows you in the film. Like Freddie Mercury was like, this is the song and it's going to be like 7 minutes long and it's going to be on the radio. And back then they were like 2.5 minute songs. Like if you listen to songs from that time, they're not even, now it's like 3.5, 4 minutes. Back then it was like 2. And he's like, that's never going on radio. It was like, because they wanted to cut bits out, and he was like, it's a 7 minute song, it's getting played, and eventually got played. And look at bow rap.
It was like meant to be like 3 different songs, and he just merged them together.
Yeah.
And like
touching on that, wasn't Strawberry Fields a fast and a slow version, and they put the two over? Oh no, Terry told me that. Did you know that?
Well, they do it with loads of them.
Strawberry Fields, they recorded the slow version and a fast version. They couldn't decide, so they just merged the two together. It's mad, that, isn't it? Because they like the both.
They're so clever, aren't they? Some people.
Yeah.
But the album, I think I said it was like that was the album for Queen that changed them from like just being the Queen to be in like, sorry, that album was the album that turned them to like a worldwide superstars.
Yeah,
and, like,
just from a
household
good
names.
band to a wow
Yeah,
band. Yeah.
and one thing we're going to just bring in with the album of the week, I thought would be we pick our track of the album.
Yeah.
And
then where did the track? Break it down even further, Jay. What's your favourite word?
What's your favourite lyric? And it's got to
Lyric
be
of the day.
It's got to be Bo Rap on it.
Well, it has to be. I remember we were in a party once and I put it on and I said, this is the best tune that's ever been made.
What party were you at, by the way?
Sam Felton's flat in Edge Hill.
Oh, was it,
Remember
yeah?
when we all went back there after the party? We were
Wow.
in one party
I
and we
think
went
I
back
come.
to Sam Felton's flat because we got...
Imagine that was a gaff clearer then.
No, it was that type of vibe, like just putting old tunes on. And I put Bo Rap on and I was rapping it. Not rapping it, but like I was singing it.
Come on then. Is this the real life?
Is this just fantasy?
Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy.
Yeah, anyway, that's like, so that's man Artilly. Well, we all love it, but me and Artilly, when I used to have a car, like that was our, she'd be like, put that on, do you know what I mean? Our driving tune, I'm like, two of her mates had never heard it, and I was giving them a lift at the station, and she was like, put Bo Rap on, you know what I mean? And we were like, bam, and proper guitar. I wasn't 2 hands on the wheel.
It's got levels on it, like.
So you think you can stop me and spit in my eye?
It's great, isn't it?
But anyway, so we were doing that, jamming in the car, and the mates were like, first of all, what's this tune? Second of all, what are you two doing? Just blew back because they'd never heard the tune.
Yeah.
And then they were only young, like, and they'd never seen a performance as good as me and Artilly. We're like the Von Trapps. But I put on a party, said this is the best tune ever made, and Jonesy was like, no, it's not. And I was like,
To a degree, I can agree with that statement. It's not my favourite tune.
But
of
you
all
can
time.
see why
I
people
can
would say
understand
that
it
is the
because
best
even now, there's not even been a song released like Bo Rap
Nothing
Bohemian
like it.
Rhapsody. And how many years ago? It was about 45, nearly come up to 50 years ago. Do you know what I mean? In 4 years, and it's still not been a song like it.
Though I don't think there will be either, because it'll be blatant that it's copying that.
But you know, I think Freddie Mercury come out of rehab.
Yeah.
Needed to like get back into like, I think he was struggling creatively. So do you know the I forgot what it's called. Dovedale Towers, yeah, Dovedale Towers. That used to be a hotel, and he stayed in there for 3 months, I think.
Did he? Yeah.
To get like back in his creative ways, and he talked because
Why not go on Penny Lane?
It's on Penny Lane.
Yeah.
And I think he stayed in there for a while, and yeah.
I love that. Well, touching on the film, Rami Malek, what a performance. Plays.
He won an Oscar
plays,
for it. Did he win an Oscar?
I think he did win something. Yeah, plays Freddie Mercury. Great performance, great film. But you know, Sacha Baron Cohen, he got approached to play Freddie Mercury in that film. And when he read the script, he said no. He was like, because there's not enough drugs and sex in it and that like
That's
that.
it.
That's not an accurate reflection of his life. Like that's a very Hollywood.
He used to go off stage and be like,
yeah, and he'd just be
Company
like, he'd just
dressing
be on stage doing it X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I mean? He was a rock star.
he was the best probably the best frontman.
Oh, 100% the best frontman, I think, of any band. One of the best bands of all time, and he's definitely the best frontman, apart from Louis Pike.
I wouldn't.
Cheap Thrills.
I wouldn't agree with your statement about being one of the best bands of all time.
One of? Really?
I think they're good, but
What are you... All right, I understand. I know exactly what's going on in your mind when you're saying this. They're not like an unbelievable band.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
musically, but the success they've had makes them one of the best bands of all time.
And as a frontman, you can't deny him not respect Queen,
Like,
in a way.
Touching back on the film, the start of the film is the Live Aid concert, and it's like boom, boom, tsh. So that got filmed before any of the film. So that was the first scene they'd filmed.
And don't get me wrong, they've been unbelievable live bands as well. Like,
but it's
Brian May's an unbelievable on guitar. And individually as musicians, they're great.
But in that film, what they done was they wanted to recreate the Live Aid concert when he come back, whenever it was, at 1980, I think. And all that crowd were like, they put adverts out like, we're doing a live Queen concert for the film, come down. So like everyone was there in like the Queen 80 t-shirts and Live Aid. So it was all like just extras who wanted to be involved, so it looked like a real concert. But that Rami Malek was saying in an interview, he's like, I hadn't filmed any of the script. Like that was the penultimate scene of the film. Sorry, it was the penultimate scene, but it was the first one we filmed. So his first day on set was, right, we're recording the last scene, yeah, which is like coming out on stage.
You've ruined the film for me now.
Well, but anyway, yeah, I know what he's saying about them not being good musical band. Like,
No, they
not
are,
musically.
they are.
What you're saying is they're not one of the best. I know why you're saying it. I can't articulate
musically,
it.
I can't say that they're one of my favourite bands of all time.
No, I'm not saying they're one of
But,
my
like,
favourite personally, but
Yeah.
they are one of the best rock bands.
Well, there still
of
is
all time.
relevant today. I seen
Yeah.
a thing, and the top selling vinyls of 2020, they were 7th with their greatest hits.
Really, yeah.
ABBA was number 1.
Do you know what I love? I Want to Break Free, lads. I remember seeing that on the telly, and I was like, even then in the 70s, 80s, a man dressed as a woman hoovering up, like, that was controversial stuff, mate. And like,
Well,
what a tune that is as well.
Another like thing, the last song on the album is called "God Save the Queen,"
Oh,
which is
what a
like
tune.
it's like a bit of a celebration in there.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 years later, Sex Pistols released a song called "God Save the Queen,"
Did they, yeah.
and it was meant to be called something else, and they done it as like. It got
In
like
homage.
it got scrutinised because it got number 2 in the chart, but a lot of people reckon that they weren't allowed to. They didn't want the song to be number 1 because one of the lines is like the Queen's not even a human and stuff like that. But it was like,
Let's not go down that path
yeah,
today, Jay.
do you know what? Well, forget it, I even said it, lads.
No, but Killer Queen as well. Killer Queen is a tune. I remember, I don't know whether you remember this, we were in the Casimir Gardens and there was like 3 fellas DJing just on like they only had like a little setup on the laptop and they played Killer Queen into Sultans of Swing, and I loved both of them tunes and he just mixed them too, and it wasn't no big set, it was just like a Saturday afternoon, and I was like, they're 2 unbelievable tunes, but like, she's a killer queen, and then the start of Sultans of Swing, I was like, what? Like, Killer Queen is a tune, mate.
Yeah, I've got some bangers. Just
They have gunpowder gelatine, dynamite like a lizard. Like, they're so good, Queen, you know.
Yeah, but anyway, our album of the week,
Yeah.
so which is the 4 fellas behind us. They don't actually look like they're from Liverpool, but they are actually called Liverpool
Of the
Express.
time, they definitely would at the
Yeah,
time.
at the time. Liverpool Express, the album is called Tracks, and it is 12 tracks on the album as
Wow.
well. And it's, you know what, a great album, I thought. You actually got me on it.
Yeah.
I think you sent me You Are My Love.
You are my love.
Is You My Love on this one? Yeah, it is. Number 4 it is. You sent me that one. And
So good. Well, I heard that tune and they were called Liverpool Express, and I didn't know whether they were from Liverpool or they were just called that. And then when I looked into them, I was like, wow, I can't believe I've never heard of these. But
We've
apparently they were influential in the
we've
scene.
done a playlist. I think we should do another play. We should do more playlists.
2021, yeah,
So
definitely.
we'll do a collab. We've done one on Liverpool artists. Give it a check out. It's just called Minerva. We'll put it up actually when we release this. I'll put this up as well. We'll add a few more to it as well. But these are on a great album. We'll be back with more information on them next week.
Yeah. I've never listened to the album. I've only listened to a few tunes.
Haven't you? No, it's a good album.
I've never listened start to finish. I've listened to probably most of the tunes because I delved into them. I was like, oh, are these from Liverpool? And then just become absorbed as I do by a lot of
called
things.
Liverpool Express.
Yeah, but that's why I can't believe I've never heard them because they are very good.
What he's got on. The polar opposites of what they've got on, by the way. One's dressed like he's a fucking jock. One is dressed like
As in a high school jock, not a Scottish person.
Yeah.
Let me just clarify that.
he's in a denim jacket, denim shirt, Tory looking cool. He looks like he just got off.
He looks like he's just come off Saturday Night Fever.
And this guy here, fucking hell.
That's a Beatles rig out that.
On his way to Bahamishva.
That is a Beatles of the time rig out, the end one there.
The real Fab Four, if you ask
Yeah,
me.
the real Fab Four.
But
yeah.
it's a great.
Did you like me birthday post for you where there was 4 things?
Yeah.
We'll get that here somewhere of Jay. That was at the Disco Fest. I made that, do you remember?
That was a funny.
I asked people which one do you think's the real J Mac on that, and none of them got it right.
But like Cono, with the one with
Yeah.
the jazzy shirt doesn't like me, but Wahoo looks the
Wahoo, yeah.
absolute.
People
it
thought
looks
that was
spot on.
you, yeah.
Yeah, it looks spot on.
Yeah. That was only on Snapchat as well.
Was it? Yeah.
Great editing.
You know what, Jack? You've got
I've got an artistic eye.
I've got to tell it with your little fingers,
With my
Jack.
pinky, yeah.
But last segment, my favourite segment, and we've actually got a brand new dad
new
joke book.
And improved.
Dad joke book. To be honest with you, the best joke is the one at the front. I used to be a bit tired of facial hair, and then it grew on me.
So,
You open up, Jack.
is
lads,
this
give
the
us
same? Each joke road tested by a bona fide dad. Even that phrase, bona fide dad. Like, only a dad would say the phrase bona fide.
And you.
What do you call friends who you like to eat with? Taste buds. That's not even the joke of the week. That's just on the back. And it's a hard back.
That's on the blurb.
It's on the blurb, yeah. Right, the Gad jokes. Who got this? Gad again?
Yeah, got it. Me and you for Christmas.
Gad, man. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Gad. He said he was going to wrap it up again. He said I'll get him to wrap it up for you.
Fucking hell. Didn't think.
What do you call a wandering caveman? A Neanderthal. And on that note,
Me favourite one on that one, I'll read it. No, we won't.
We'll see.
Forget it.
what have we learnt this week?
So what we learned this week, it's been a bit of a, you know what, it's a bit of a session for us just to get back on the swing of thing, but we learned about, obviously, about
Come and see Jacob first
come
of
and
all.
see
Yeah.
Jacob if you want. For great lighting, we chose this ourselves, so none of you pick
Oh
orange.
no, I meant this session was for us to come and see Jacob. It's
Yeah,
been a
come and see
while.
Jacob.
It's been
Yeah, it
well
was a
over
bit of
month.
a, yeah, it's been a while. We haven't recorded in way over a month.
Yeah,
Well over a month. So it's
yeah.
about to get in the swing of things, but we've learned today that, you know, it's
What have we talked about today, Jacob?
we have
Don't get an iPhone if you haven't got
Yeah,
a charger.
yeah. If you buy a new iPhone 11, make sure you buy a plug or have a plug available at the same time.
If you're feeling unmotivated, you can speak to myself, but
For a walk.
go for a walk. Yeah,
for a walk.
get outside, man. Just honestly, it's so important. Get outside.
Do a
Mick
few
spoke
stars.
about it on the last
A few
episode.
star jumps in your room.
Yeah,
But
just
do the world of good.
get a routine. Same time, honestly, it's essential, as you know yourself,
Yeah, it
being
is.
in a routine. But that is a good phrase, a routine. A lot of people are just in a routine.
Yeah.
And I've been guilty of it myself. Just get up, go through the motions. But it's as you know how you feel. It's crucial.
Mm.
You isolated a while back, didn't you? And just even the first taste of fresh air, like whoa, it's essential to go outside.
Even going to get my mail from downstairs.
Yeah. It was like a trip, wasn't it? Oh yeah.
But no, it's great to be back, and we'll be back. So this will be out, but we've got another episode coming for you. We'll have 2 in 2 weekends.
Yeah, as a little,
Both following
New Year
Sundays.
treat.
And then we'll go back to the 2 weeks after that. But this will be out. You just know when it's out already.
Yeah, because you'll be watching this.
But thank you very much.
This will be out right now.
But thank you very much for listening. Make
And your
sure.
support as always.
Make sure you give us a like, any comments you do like, give us and
Click
make sure
that subscribe
and click that subscribe button right here,
right now.
and that's ciao.